All right, I'm making a video. I wasn't gonna make a video, but I knew to just do it. You're here. You can help me out.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, guys?
Everybody remembers who this is, right?
I'm Jess.
Mr.
And this is Richard. If you don't know or haven't met him, he likes to kiss your face.
So, I was gonna wait to make a video until we go actually catch lionfish for this tank, but me and G had some free time today, so I figured, you know what, let's go get some starter fish for this new reef that I'm setting up and just teach you guys about what I like to use for starter fish for reef tanks. Just like some super hardy go-to animals, just to give your tanks a little bit of movement while you're cycling. All right, so today, we went over to Elite Marine Life down the street from my house. Really awesome store here in Pompano, which is right by my shop. My shop is in Deerfield. They're right down the street. So we went there. Great little store. They have a bunch of like retail fish for sale there. They have a bunch of tanks in the middle with frags and a bunch of other really cool corals. Really nice show tanks with all sorts of beautiful fish that I will include in this video so you guys can see. Make sure you go check them out. Really, one of my favorite local fish stores for sure. There's another fish store in Boca that I like, but this place just trumps everything in South Florida. Besides, obviously, my boys, Worldwide Corals. So, today, we got all these damsels, okay? So this is what I like to use for starter fish. They're very affordable. These little blue guys you can get for like 15, 20 bucks. These larger ones, I forget exactly the names that she was telling me over at Elite, but we got some larger damsels that are a little bit on the aggressive side, but they will bring this tank some color and some movement, which is going to be great.
And these are your flows?
Right, so while Jess is asking us a bunch of questions, I'm going to answer your questions while I teach YouTube about everything also, because they haven't seen any part of this with this tank. So, since this is a brand new tank, this is what we like to use for starter bacteria. Now, whenever you're starting a new reef tank, I like to use this one and only solution. Now, I need 2 of these for this size tank, but what this does is it introduces all of the nitrifying bacteria that your tank needs to thrive, okay? So a bunch of really helpful bacteria that need to get in your water help cycle the tank correctly. So what was your question?
Well, I know a little bit because I just set up my first tank in a long time. Now, so you got your protein skimmer down here.
Yep, which is not hooked up yet.
Yeah, it's not running.
Right, so when you run the bacteria and you're doing cycling, you do not want to run your protein skimmer. Let it rise. So there's actually nothing. I eventually am going to set up a refugium down here with a bunch of chaeto algae and stuff that I have like in my 55 gallon. I'll show you. So this is my 55 gallon down here, but you can see how this is just, my sump down here is full of life, covered in chaeto. There's all sorts of beneficial bacteria and microorganisms that live down there that these little guys, everybody eats in here, especially that clam. That clam, the only reason why it is doing so well is because of this very well established sump I have down below. Right? Neato.
My next question.
Ask me more questions.
So I have one of these. There's 6 in here.
Right.
I have a 90-gallon tank. This is a 240.
40, yes.
240.
Yep.
It's gigantic. So you have 2 of these devices. They run your pumps.
Yes, so these are my return pumps.
Yep.
So I have 2 overflows up here, comes
They
down.
each have a return pump.
These are both return pumps, the left and right return pump, and then these are my wave makers.
Right.
So I have 4 other pumps. I'm cleaning them in the sink right now, actually.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But they're gonna go, my little wave makers, there's 2 on this side, 2 on that side, but I have to set those up.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Is this just an overflow tank?
This is for my RO water. So this is my auto top off unit right here. So as the water evaporates, this is gonna put fresh water back into the tank. And then over here, we have a calcium reactor, which I'm not really gonna hook up until we do the reef tank section. We have a carbon doser. We have a pH computer right here. There's all sorts of fancy
This thing is cool.
electronics in here that I have to get all set up. But a lot of it I'm not going to set up just yet because, like I said before, this is going to be a predatory, mostly tank. I'm going to put a few...
You don't need all the calcium.
Right. I'm going to put a few easy corals in this tank just to give us some movement and some color.
Like some mushrooms.
Yeah, some mushrooms, a bunch of cool zoanthids that are easy. I might maybe put a Lobo down there. I don't know, some easy stuff, some leather coral, there's a lot of really pretty, hardy stuff that you can use in predatory tanks, so that's what I'm gonna do. But for now, we're just gonna acclimate these guys, and then we're gonna get them into the tank. So right now, I'm doing sort of like a drip acclimation. I lost my little tube, so I'm just taking a cup of water out every few minutes, putting it in there, and then they will get used to everything, because my salinity level in the tank is a little bit higher than I would like it to be. It's at 3.0 right now. I want to be at like 27, 28, but we're gonna fix that here shortly. We're past that stage. Yeah, well, gentlemen. Yeah, she's gonna think farts are funny too. Okay? I'm getting yelled at for Richard farted. Not me. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't fart. Weirdo. Listen, she'll be fine. Alright, we're making a video out here, alright? Quit talking about farting. Alright, so we've been acclimating these damsels for 30 minutes now. I just checked the salinity level with my little fractometer, reefometer, whatever, refractor thing. You guys know what it's called. Anyways, but my salinity level is 1.030, which is a little bit on the high side. Now, we wanted it on the high side just because we are going to be harvesting fish from the ocean, which is higher salinity than what you normally would like to keep your reef tank at. Normally, you would keep your reef at like 26, 27, 28 is a little on the high side. This is 3.0. So, a little bit high, but we can correct that in the future. Once we move the higher salinity fish into this tank, we can introduce a little bit more RO water, little by little, bring the salinity back to where we want it. So, right now, I'm gonna go over a couple little things, and then we are gonna get these fish put back into the tank. I'm gonna go scrub some power heads, and then we're gonna set those up, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that here in a minute. All right, so check it out. These are the power heads that I just cleaned off. Now, they had a bunch of coralline on them, and what I did was I soaked them in my sink over there with citric acid, just powdered citric acid that you get on Amazon or something. Mix it with some hot diluted water. You can soak your power heads in it, and look how perfectly clean and black they are. No coralline on them at all whatsoever now. All right, so let's start getting these guys out of here. Now, all I have is this little tiny net, so we're just gonna have to just one by one get these guys out of here very carefully, and I'll show you. So we'll get this guy in there. There he goes, straight into the rocks. That's pretty much what they're all gonna do. All right, so let's get the rest of these guys moved in there. All right, we got them all with one scoop. Don't ask me how I did it. All right, let's let these guys out. So we got one little chromie in there. And then these guys, these little damsels. Cool, so now we at least got something alive inside of here. Boo-yah! See, we got that little black and white striped one. We got the yellowtail damsels in here. Forget what the heck that guy's called. He's like a one spot, twin spot, something or other. Yeah, so really cool. So that is it for today, guys. I'm gonna get this thing finished setting up. I gotta set up my ETO unit. I gotta hook up these power heads. All this stuff is Ecotech, guys. I'm gonna put all the links to everything down below. Ecotech power heads. My lights are Ecotechs. This is a Red Sea 900. It's a 240-gallon tank with a 60-gallon sump. So the sump holds about 60 gallons, 240 up here, around 300 gallons of salt water. Beautiful. I'm super, super pumped to get this thing started. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, this is just my opinion. I have been doing saltwater aquariums since I was a little kid. This is what I like to use as my starter fish. They're super easy. Damsels are very hardy fish. They can be in low salinity, high salinity. All sorts of things can be wrong with your water parameters, and damsels will still thrive. So that is what I like to use as just like a nice little starter fish. Just make sure you have movement in the tank. Dude, this tank's been set up for 24 hours. I already put fish in it, and guess what? They're gonna be just fine. Those bottles that I was showing you guys earlier that I got over at Elite, I'll put all the links right down below. Till next time, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see how this tank is gonna look in even the next month. So the next few videos we're going to be making are dive videos actually on collecting some fish legally for this tank, and it is gonna be badass. So until next time, you know the drill, guys. TylerNolanTattoos.com for all your merch. Thanks for supporting me all the time. Tank is sick. R.I.P. Travis, this thing is badass. I hope you're looking down and you're proud so far. So, later, guys.